podcast. I recently received a no to a $150,000 proposal. And when it came in, I felt so neutral. Now, the old version of Elise would not have felt that way. She would have said, "Oh my gosh, this is devastating. This is going to mean I can't pay my bills this month. What did I do wrong? Maybe I should have done something differently." And I don't experience any of that anymore. And so I told my team, I want to record a podcast about this because I think this is so important. And it's not that I don't care about money. It's not that I'm going to say, oh, I would prefer that to them saying yes, but because a no longer means what it used to mean. And money has become so neutral in my life that I want to teach you how to have that same experience of money today. And there was a time in my life and in my business where one rejection, especially of something that I thought was big, quote unquote big, could spiral me into a lot of self doubt. But when you grow, that changes the meaning of what you might have once perceived as rejection or something that could really impact you negatively. And when your identity is no longer attached to external validation, you stop making every closed door mean something personal about your worth or about whether you're going to be able to pay your bills or achieve your goals. And the ironic part is that is the energy that allows more money to come in, bigger opportunities to arrive as well. And so today on the podcast, I want to talk about number one, how to make money neutral. I want to talk about how to emotionally move out of what might feel like rejection energy as you go to higher and higher levels of sales and business. I want to talk about why detachment creates power. And I also want to talk about how to stop letting temporary outcomes define your long term vision and what you make it mean about you and achieving your goals. So, this episode isn't really about a $150,000 proposal. It is about becoming the type of sales leader, entrepreneur, business professional who can hold massive success. So, let's talk first about making money neutral. What does that mean? Why does it matter? And it's something that we've been talking about a lot in the community and in my programs lately because there really is this sense of neutrality that I've learned to live at with money where it doesn't define me. And what I find is the more that I live there, the more I know my own self worth outside of that, the more money flows easily in and out of my life. It's not a big deal. It doesn't impact me the way it used to. And this moment where this client said no was just a beautiful kind of litmus test for me of, okay, I'm living this. Like, this is working really well. What we teach here, what we teach our clients to do, what I practice embodying, it really does work because that proposal was for more than I used to make in a year. And there was a time, maybe even a few years ago, where if I had gotten a no to that, I would have really made it mean something about me. I would have made it mean, "Oh, I'm not successful," or "I didn't say the right thing in the pitch," or this or that. It was for a corporate opportunity. And when I saw it come in this time, I was like, "Oh, okay, no big deal." And I went on with my day. And then I texted my marketing director and said, "I want to record a podcast about this and I realize how neutral money is for me now. And I want to talk about it and share about it with the community because this is so important. Anytime something outside of you defines you, you are in victim energy. You're not in control of your circumstances. And I think this is so important. Or maybe I shouldn't even say in control of your circumstances, but in control of your response, your internal state, which is both what we can control and what we create our future from. And I think that, it's really easy to share the highlights and share, and I don't even consider this like a negative thing, but you hear people talking all the time on social media, or sometimes I'll share like, hey, we just landed this six-figure deal, this multi-six-figure deal. Like those things are fun. And you hear people share a lot more of those, but you don't hear as many people talk about, I didn't get this deal, or I quote unquote lost this proposal. I don't believe in the language lost because I don't think that that's helpful energy here. But you don't hear people talk about that as much. And I wanted to share this here because I have those experiences too. And there's nothing wrong with it. And when you learn how to make money neutral, which is about you no longer make it define you. You allow it to be used in the proper energy in your life, which is to support your life where you are the master, it's the servant, not the other way around. You can really shift the energy with it. Now, conversely, when it's neutral, you don't have those emotional spikes around it of, what feels like a lot comes in and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm on a high. If that happens, you're not actually an energetic match to that amount yet. And you'll probably quickly go back down to whatever the normal amount is that you're used to having come in every month. Like maybe someone is used to making 10K months and then they have a 50K month, but they haven't done the nervous system regulation work to make a 50K month feel normal. They'll go back down to the 10K month the next month because that 50 felt really high. But conversely, if money is not neutral for you, then you can have an experience like what I had, where you get a no on a proposal or an offer to a client, and you dip, right? Maybe you feel devastated. Maybe you make it mean something about you. When it's neutral, you can navigate through life without having those big nervous system spikes, and you're able to um, you are in a very different energy when you sell, when you pitch, when you write your social media posts, when you pay your bills. It's also different. You're able to receive larger amounts and it doesn't feel like a big spike either. I think that's something else that's important. I shared this with my clients this week, and I might have shared this on the podcast a while back, where a couple months ago I was in Dubai for my TEDx talk, and I was swimming in the pool with my oldest son one morning, and I had $100,000 deposit come in while doing that. And that also felt very neutral. It's like, oh, thank you. That's great. I appreciate that. That's wonderful. I'll like more, please. I'll take more of that. But it didn't feel like, oh my gosh, like this is huge. Let me go shout it from the mountaintops. That's the energy we desire to be in. And when you do the wealth consciousness work to clear your money blocks, to align with higher frequencies, and there's so many resources on the podcast here in our community and our membership to help support you with this. When you do that work and you apply it to higher and higher amounts, like right now, I'm doing that for myself around $1 million a month. Like, I just think that would be really fun. I think it would be enjoyable. I think I would love it. I feel like there's a lot of good that would come out of that. So I'm normalizing and neutralizing that right now, but you can do it with any amount. Maybe you want to do it with your first 10K month. Maybe you want to do it with your first 100K month, your first $1 million month. Like I am like, whatever that is, you can do this work to make it neutral, to make it feel normal, and that's when it'll come in. And that's also where if you have something happen along the way that maybe someone else would call a setback or would say, oh no, like, I got a rejection. That means I'm not going to hit my goal. You can have a very different perspective and say, this does not define me. This means nothing about whether I'm going to hit my goal or not. It's just not this one, not this time, but it doesn't mean it's not happening. And you just keep moving. So that ties in with the second thing that I want to talk about, which is rejection, quote unquote rejection, because I'm not calling this rejection, but how do we handle what we might call or feel as rejection at the next level? So one thing that I'm aware of is that the higher you grow, the bigger the opportunities become, which means the yeses are bigger and the nos are bigger. So you can't desire expansion while also expecting immunity from experiences that feel like a no at another level. And so that's where I love working with myself, with my clients on shifting our relationship with more, because you have to do that. If you want to grow your money, if you want to grow your business, if you want to go from maybe middle of the pack in your corporate sales career to top of the pack, you've got to shift your relationship with more. And if part of your subconscious is viewing more money or bigger life as more opportunities for risk, for failure, for rejection, you're not going to do it. So we've got to shift into a place of safety with more. How do we do that? You start to expand your self concept. You start to make it normal to think about yourself circulating tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars a day, maybe millions of dollars a day. You make that feel normal for yourself. How do you do that? You play with it in your mind first. You've got to shift your relationship with the energy of more. And you also have to stop interpreting what you might perceive as rejection or a no as a reflection of your value. When you have an inherent sense of self worth, and one of the things you'll hear me say in the community and in this podcast a lot is your level of income will never exceed your level of self worth. You can have someone say no to a $150,000 proposal and be like, it's not a big deal, or $1 million proposal and say, it's not a big deal. It doesn't define who you are. And so, if you want to grow your income, look at where are you currently taking no's as meaning something about you, no's from clients or from prospects, and what are you making it mean? I promise you, you do that healing work to no longer make it mean that. You will actually get more yeses. You will grow your income and revenue, but you won't feel like you need it. This brings us to number three, which is why this no didn't shake me. And that is because I have learned how to make my self-worth no longer attached to outcomes. And that's what I want to help you step into as well. So there's a really big difference between desiring something like, I would love this opportunity. I would love to work with these clients. I would love to sell my first six-figure or multi-six-figure client or $1 million deal. And I need this in order to feel valuable. That's the difference between what we call and what I call in the community selling from wholeness versus selling from lack or scarcity. If you are trying to sell to fill a void in yourself, then it's never going to feel like enough. Just the same as if you're trying to attract a romantic partner to help you feel whole and worthy and lovable, which how many of us do that or have done that? It's not gonna be the same result as if you are attracting a partner from a place of completely inherent self-worth and self-love, and from that place, someone can come in and amplify you. It's completely different. So we have to know that with this is going to be another dating analogy for you. Here you go. Detachment creates magnetic energy. And this has to do with life, with business, with sales, with money. So, one of the most important and powerful things I think you can learn in business is that desperation repels and detachment attracts. It's how it works. And so, we want to be in the energy of this would be amazing. I would love this, and I'll still be good, even if it doesn't happen. How do you know you'll still be good? Well, you don't have the thing right now and you're okay, right? Would you love it? Yes. Would it be so fun? Yes. Would life maybe be easier temporarily or more exciting temporarily? Yes. But to think, Byron Katie talks about this, to think that you need anything you don't currently have is insanity. So we want to move out of that energy of need into an energy of love, into an energy of appreciation, into an energy of this would be great. I would love this, but I'm so okay if it doesn't happen. All right. And finally, every no refines your capacity. What do I mean by that? We, especially in the spiritual world, which I'm very much in that world, we love the idea of like instant manifestation. And that's really fun. And I've had plenty of things happen like that. And that's generally when you have very little resistance to something and you also don't care about it that much. It can just come in just like that. Like I'm really good at manifesting flowers for myself. It's just something I know. So I know if I have a thought of, I would love flowers today, they'll usually show up for me some way, somehow. And it's fun to see how the universe does that. And you must be a vibrational match for the thing that you desire. And so, not every opportunity is meant to materialize immediately. That's okay. So, we have to learn to fall in love with the process and the journey of becoming the woman or man who can have and hold a six-figure month, multi six-figure month, seven-figure month, beyond. Like, who is that version of you? Make that the goal. Become intimately familiar with that person. How does she speak, walk, act, talk? How does she dress herself, hold herself? I love talking about this stuff because even as I say this out loud, I'm thinking better and higher for myself in so many parts of my life. So I hope that you are as well as you listen to this. But that's the work. And that's actually where we infuse feminine energy into the business and sales process because masculine is about the destination, feminine is about the journey. And when we're only focused on the destination and the energy of I'll only be okay when and if this happens, we lose the actual gift, which is who do you become in the process of the achievement of that thing, of the accomplishment of that thing. Finally, number four, the real flex here is emotional stability. It's emotional stability, and that's why it was such a win for me when I saw that come through, and I thought, "Yes, like, I wanna record a podcast on this, I wanna talk about this." Because when things don't go according to plan or according to what you would desire, and you can still be okay with it, you know you're neutral. You know that you've grown. So many of my clients will share in our maybe our mastermind chat or on a group call, like, I had something go haywire the other day that would normally have thrown me for a loop, and I was fine. I was okay. That's actually such a huge win because you know that your capacity has expanded. You're no longer triggered by the things you used to be triggered by. You've grown. That means you are now a vibrational match for something better and higher to come in. So when you're triggered, when you're emotionally volatile, not that there's anything wrong with that, because we all have experiences like that, but it's an indicator of limiting beliefs. It's an indicator of parts of you that need to be healed or who are asking to be healed. And you want to pay attention to that and do that work. But it's also beautiful when you've done the work and you realize, oh my gosh, the trigger's no longer there. The emotional volatility around money is no longer there. That's when you have ascended and become a match for what it is that you really desire. So I would look at and just ask yourself, am I labeling anything rejection in my life? And if so, what am I making that mean about me? I would also look at where have I attached my identity or my self-worth to being chosen? Because at the end of the day, you've got to choose yourself before anyone else will. It's so important. And then what would change if I believed that my success was inevitable? And that's the blueprint that I walk through my life with. I didn't used to, and I had a much harder time of navigating life and business. And it was literally just a choice. I just decided, okay, I hear other people saying they believe their success is inevitable. That would be so fun to play with. I feel better when I think that way. I feel more aligned. Things seem to flow with greater ease. Huh, my results seem better. Okay, let me keep trying that on for size. I want to invite you to play with that today too, and just choose that as a belief. What would change if I believed my success was inevitable, that I couldn't mess it up? I couldn't screw it up no matter what. It was coming, it was happening. Exactly what I wanted was going to happen. You'll have a very different experience of not just your business, but your entire life as well. And so, in closing, I hope this served you. I hope that this helped you. Thank you for bearing with me through some tech issues as we have a storm rolling in as I record this. But it's fitting for the theme of moving out of volatility and into neutrality, which is what we want to do here. I want to give you a couple of ways to connect as we move forward. Number one, please make sure you're subscribed to the podcast on YouTube, Apple, Spotify. My team will link everything below. I want to make sure that you get all of the content. And if this is speaking to you, I want to make sure that I'm able to connect with you with every new episode. We are also hosting a live weekly session on Tuesdays called the Expansion Room. It's totally free. If you enjoyed this and you want to get in with me, have some time to be coached live, see what it's like to be in the community, you can come join. It's elisearcher.com/expansion-room to get registered. I would love to see you there in the room. And finally, in closing, I want to remind you to trust yourself on your path to success. Remember that your desires are green lights leading you and everyone around you to a brighter future. I'll see you on our next episode.